Everybody. I am Sandra Lee, and I have a guest expert with me today. This is Margaret Leavitt. She is an essential oils expert, and I really love her approach to essential oils and learning about them. So I don't know if I have any more that I have to say about that. So, Margaret,
Hi.
go.
Thank you so much for having me. Welcome, everybody. My name is, like Sandra said, I'm Margaret Leavitt, and I am a wellness advocate with doTERRA Essential Oils. So I'm really excited to be here today and share just a little bit about them with you. I think it's important that I share or I start with my story, why I got into essential oils, why that was important to me. Really what drew me in is I knew somebody who used them all the time, and she would talk about they were good for this and good for that. And I was like, oh my gosh, maybe we totally need these, right? And so we ended up, my husband and I ended up purchasing a kit, and we bought it, and it came with 10 oils and a cool diffuser. And that was about it. So I got that diffuser. I was really excited. And like most people who know about essential oils know that you diffuse them, right? You put them in like a little diffuser with some water, and then it creates a mist and it scents the room. And so that's really what I thought you use them for. And so I used the ones that I totally loved and used them for that. And then eventually that kind of fizzled out, right? I was using them and using them. And then I just like, what was the importance? Did it have any benefit? And I ended up just kind of putting those off on a shelf. And I ended up just letting them sit there until another friend asked me to use oils again. And I was like, but I have been there. I've done that. No, thank you. I don't want to do that again. And she was like, no, come to a class. I want to teach you about these. And that blew my mind that there was a class. I was like, wait, there's a class? And so that's what I did. I ended up going to this class, and it was for doTERRA, and she educated. That was it. We sat in that class, and she just taught about essential oils, and she went through the top like 10 to 12 oils that are most commonly used, and how you would use them and why you would use them, and that you could use them for medicinal purposes, that you could put them on your body and have these effects that will positively benefit your health. And that is where I really got started, and what changed and shifted everything for me. The education that was provided, that was really what drove me in. I'm a learner by nature. I really want to know why. I want to understand things. And so that aspect of doTERRA is what really transformed my thoughts surrounding and my usage surrounding essential oils. So it was after that class that I ended up purchasing another kit with a full understanding about how to use them and why you would. And so that is how I really, really started in with essential oils and really dove into them, and why I'm so passionate about them now, and how come I love sharing them with other people. So, yeah, that's how I got started with them. And then, do you have any questions? Sorry.
No, but if anybody watching has questions, you can post them as comments to the video, and I will see them and ask Margaret.
Yeah, we'll answer them as we go. When it comes to doTERRA or essential oils, really you can find essential oils everywhere, right? The market is booming. You can go to Walgreens and find them. You can go to a spa and find them. You really have the ability to find them anywhere. So why doTERRA, right? Why do I stick with this specific company? And basically it boils down to the purity standards. An essential oil, to be effective, needs to be pure. And a study done found that 96% of essential oils on the market are adulterated, means they're filled with some type of synthetic, a fragrance, a different chemical constituent. They're concocted in a lab, or they're diluted with a carrier oil. They're not pure. What you're getting is not what you think you're actually getting. And doTERRA's purity standards are unmatched in the market. And we actually just were published in PubMed that lavender is actually medicinal grade. And so that is something that's really new. And it's pretty cool that we get to say that, which is pretty fantastic. So purity, when it comes to doTERRA, we have a purity standard called CPTG, and that's certified pure tested grade. And what that means is that our oils are pure and potent. Pure meaning they have no contaminants, no fillers in them. And potent meaning that they're grown, the plant that is harvested is grown in the part of the world where that plant grows best, which in turn gives us the best chemistry for that plant and allows that oil to do medicinally and aromatically what we want it to do for our health. So the coolest thing about that standard and that testing is that it's actually on the bottom of every bottle. So it's hard to see, but there are two numbers on the bottom of this bottle of oil. One is an expiration date, and the second one is a batch number. So you can actually plug that batch number into the website sourced.com and read third-party testing results. So not only does doTERRA test their oils, but we also send them for third-party testing, and we make that completely transparent to you. So you can read those and know that what you're putting on and in your body is that pure oil, and that in order to be claimed pure and a real essential oil, it has to have a specific chemical makeup. What chemical constituents make up this oil is what has to classify that. And so being able to see that is really important because we want you to feel secure and know that what you're getting is what we say you're getting. So that was really important to me. Those two things, the education that was provided through doTERRA, and it doesn't stop. That was the coolest thing is I attended my first class, and that was just the beginning. Once I got my kit, I was surrounded with tons more research and information that was just at my fingertips that allowed me to just continue to really dive in. And that is where doTERRA really thrives, is educating and knowing that the person who's purchasing understands how to use the product that they've invested in, because that's important, right? We buy oils usually for a specific reason, right? We want them to do something or to help with something. And so it's important that you're able to use that and understand how to do that so you get those benefits.
So let's talk about some specific oils that can address issues that people might be struggling right now. So it's like stress, being calm, peaceful.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Absolutely. So we have a big five, right? The big five is stress and anxiety, pain, sleep, digestive issues, and energy. Like those are going to be your top, probably things that anybody watching has one or more of those ailments that they're struggling with. So if we start with sleep, lavender is great for sleep. So lavender is really calming for the mind and the body. It really promotes a peaceful atmosphere. So you can diffuse it next to your bed, or you can rub it on the bottoms of your feet. And that will allow it to get into your body system and allow those chemicals to calm that body down. So lavender is a great one. This is our kids blend one, so it's called Calmer. So this is also one. Essential oils are safe for everybody. So from babies all the way up to the elderly, they're completely safe. So you can use them all the way around. But lavender is so good for that. And then we also have an additional oil called Serenity, and that's our restful complex. So it has lavender in it, but it also has some really other grounding and calming oils like Roman chamomile, vetiver, cedarwood. Those are all going to help feelings of restfulness. And so again, you can diffuse that one, rub it on the bottoms of your feet, or we have a soft gel form that you could take a soft gel about a half an hour before bed to really put you into a deeper sleep. My husband actually rolls that on the bottoms of his feet every night to help with sleep. So it's a fantastic oil for that. If you're looking for pain, Deep Blue is a phenomenal oil for that. And it comes in a couple different ways. So you can get Deep Blue in an oil. You can also get it in a lotion form. So the lotion form is similar to Icy Hot. So you're going to be able to just rub that on in a lotion form. And then on Friday, we're launching a new product, which is really exciting. It's a Deep Blue and Copaiba stick. So it's in a stick form. I don't know how to a stick, and then you just rub it on. So no more lotion. You don't have to get it on your hands. You're just going to apply it directly to your area of discomfort. And Copaiba is great for nervous system support, inflammation. It's actually works similar to CBD oil. So it attaches to the endoid cannabinoid system and works with that as well. So those two combined, pretty phenomenal product that's really exciting to come out on Friday. What did I say? Oh, digestive issues. Lots of people struggle with digestive issues, sensitivities that give them acid reflux, heartburn, bloating, indigestion, things like that. Digest Zen is our blend for that. And that blend you can take internally, you can put it topically, or you can diffuse it aromatically. If you're really struggling with something really inside of your stomach, right? Acid reflux, something like that, you're going to have the most benefit from taking it internally or rubbing it topically over your stomach to really soothe that. Peppermint's also really great for calming an upset stomach. So you could take a little bit of peppermint with that. If you didn't have Digestion or you didn't want all those other oils in there, you could take a pure peppermint oil with that. And that one is so good. That one does come in an oil as well as a soft gel too. So you could take that one both ways. And then energy, wild orange, man. Wild, if you get a citrus are your happy, invigorating oils. They release happy endorphins within your body. So those are going to be kind of your go-to oils. Wild orange is phenomenal at that. Pair that with peppermint, because peppermint's that awakening oil that really refreshed, opens up your airways. Those two together in the middle of the day are a great oil for combination. And then stress and anxiety, right? That is probably the biggest one that is hitting a lot of us really hard right now, really hard. And the best oil to use for that is going to be Adaptive. Now, Adaptive is a combination of oils, and it is specifically designed for stress and anxiety. It is designed to target that and to really help your body to deal with that. So the oil form, you will roll topically, or diffuse it aromatically, that oil. And I suggest applying it topically because it's something you want to smell and actually get into your body, right? You want to feel those effects and have them interact within your cells. And so that is one that you would roll on your pulse points, right? So your wrists, maybe the base of your skull, behind your ears. Those are all really good areas to get your essential oils into your body. And then we also have a soft gel form of that. So for added support, you can add in something like the soft gel on top of using the oils to really benefit from that. Copaiba and frankincense are also phenomenal oils to help with anxiety. So applying those ones, maybe you have an adaptive roller, and a roller just looks like this. And it comes with a roller top like that. And your rollers are going to be diluted with a carrier oil, and we use fractionated. This oil is odorless and colorless, and so and it doesn't interfere or change the effects or the chemistry of your oil. So that is why we use that one. It's different than the oil that you would get in your cupboard. It's liquid at all times. So at room temperature, all times, it is liquid form. And the benefit of that is that you're not constantly heating up and cooling down your oils, because over time that will break them down and change the chemical makeup of them. So carrier oil is great if you're allergic or you can't use coconut oil. You can use something like jojoba oil. That's a great one. Or you can also use sesame seed oil. That's another one. Or almond oil. Those are probably the most common ones that you're going to see. And then you would just roll it onto your body. So roll it on the area of discomfort or the area where you need the support. So again, your pulse points, maybe it's digestive, you're going to put it on your stomach, right? Pain or inflammation where you're feeling that. But yeah, you could add adaptive and then frankincense and copaiba onto that. And frankincense and copaiba you can actually take internally as well. So a drop underneath your tongue underneath your tongue bypasses your digestive tract, so it's able to absorb into your bloodstream really quickly. So you're going to feel the effects a lot faster. So if you're looking for kind of more instant, I wouldn't say instant, but if you're looking for faster relief, that's the place that I would want to apply your oils to.
Tell me a little bit about the difference in effect between essential oils and like a medication.
Thank you. That's a really good question, actually. So, yes. The reason I like essential oils is because medicines are so important, right? And they have a lot of benefits. They really do. But they also come with some really nasty side effects. Okay. And a lot of those are really harmful to our bodies, right? When we look at essential oils, we're looking at the chemical of a plant. Our body knows exactly what to do with a plant, right? And our bodies are similar to plants. We work in a similar way. Our bodies are able to break those down and absorb them and get the nutrients and get what we need into our system. Medications, most of the time, are synthetic, right? They're cooked up in a lab. They're hard on our bodies. Our bodies really have to work to break them down, and they can cause other side effects. And so the ability to use essential oils for common everyday ailments, right? Or those occasional ailments or sicknesses that we get will have such a huge health benefit for you. And I'll share just a quick personal experience that recently I had. I ended up in a doctor's office for a cyst that I had. I didn't know. I thought it was just an infection. It ended up being a cyst that had to be cut and drained. It was it was so painful. But in that appointment, the doctor, whom I didn't trust because I didn't know him, but at the time he told me I had a skin infection at the same time. And I was like, really? I do? And he, yes, you totally do. And he was like, I'm going to give you antibiotics for that. Now, preface this, normally I would not take an antibiotic because I didn't think I had the infection. And two, they're not good for you. Antibiotics have a really negative side effect on your gut health. They wipe out all the good bacteria as well as the bad, and it takes your body over a year to build that back up. So if you can avoid taking antibiotics, and still get the relief or, I won't say cure, but benefit from relieving those symptoms or whatever your ailment is, that's what I would advocate for. But we had driven all through the night back from Utah. I had been awake for 36 hours. The procedure that I had done to get the cyst removed was really horrible. So I just really wanted out of the doctor's office, right? So I took the prescription, ended up taking it for a couple days, and I started developing a rash, like a really bad rash. And it started to spread. And I called the doctor and I was like, am I having an allergic reaction? What's happening? I don't know what's going on. And they were like, no, you're totally fine. Everything's fine. Well, I finished those antibiotics and that rash had spread pretty much all over my body. And I was really upset about it. And I didn't know what to do. And called the doctor back and they were like, oh, you have a yeast infection. And normally yeast infections are in very specific areas, not spread throughout your body like I had. And I was like, what on earth do I do? And they were like, oh, well, you can go get something else to treat that. And I was like, wait, I was given an antibiotic to treat a skin infection that gave me an even more severe skin infection, right? And so I was like, I don't want to do that. I need to figure out something else. And so I ended up doing a little bit of research. I reached out to people who are a little bit smarter than I am. And I found out that doTERRA had a product for a gut health cleanse because that's where my issue was, right? Most of our issues stem from our gut. So if we can heal our gut, then we can heal a lot of our ailments. So I ended up taking this. It's called GX Assist, and it's part of a gut cleanse. And I took 3 of those for 9 days. And within 24 hours, that rash had cleared up all over my body. It was still in my armpits because it was really severe there. But the rest of my body had cleared up. And that was such a huge thing for me. That was such a major thing for me. So it was able to get to the root of the problem instead of putting a Band-Aid on the problem. And so that is why I am so passionate about helping others treat common ailments, right? The flu, maybe a sickness, getting over viruses better, or a little type of bacteria infection with your essential oils instead of taking over-the-counter medication, just because we're healing our body in a very positive and beneficial way. It made it seriously made such a big difference for me, because I was so distraught over it. And the idea of taking another antibiotic was so overwhelming to me, because I knew that I was affecting my gut health, right? I knew that I was wiping out all that good bacteria already, and that my body was going to have some work to do already recuperating. And I couldn't imagine trying to add another one onto that.
It's amazing how that's the only way that a lot of the medical practitioners approach it.
Yeah.
Pill,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, that first doctor didn't make any attempt to figure out why
Yeah.
you had this skin infection.
Yeah. And I looked it up, and I was like, I don't even think I had this. Like, you can see, because I took pictures through the whole process, and, you know, and not to like talk bad about him, because doctors are phenomenal. They do wonderful work. They really do. But right, we tend to be an over-medicated society. We tend to reach for the pills. We tend to reach for something like that. And what I advocate for is the ability to know, like, there is a better way sometimes, right? We don't always have to go to these. And so learning about essential oils and being able to use peppermint to help my kids with a headache, and to help with reducing a fever, and to help them with nausea and upset stomachs, just with that one oil, right? Deep Blue was huge for my kids. My kids suffer from growing pains, like severely suffer from growing pains. And my older two kids, who are 12 and 11 now, when they were probably 5 to 7, it was an hourly occurrence at night. They would wake up and just be in so much pain. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to give them Tylenol. I would try really hard not to. I would rub them out, you know, like massage them, some heat in the middle of the night. And then within an hour and a half, they'd be up again crying for the same thing. And so I'd be so desperate, right, that I was turning to Tylenol on a regular basis to just allow my kids some relief and to allow them to sleep. When I switched to doTERRA and started implementing those into our lifestyle, now when my kids wake up, because I still have a 6 and a 4-year-old, now when they wake up in the night, all I have to do is rub that on, and I will massage their legs for 5 minutes, and they stay asleep for the rest of the night. No lie. No lie. Like, I'm not making that up. That's not an exaggeration. Putting that on is healing that, right? It's soothing those muscles, and they're able to get the rest that they need. Again, huge for my family, right? Knowing that I'm not putting these medications in their system on a regular basis, right? Every once in a while, maybe they need something. But majority of the time, we're able to use gifts from the earth, because they really are a gift. They were designed and put here for our benefit, for our use. And so being able to implement that not only connects us to nature, right? But it allows us to find benefit and find healing in that.
Yay!
Right? Like, who doesn't like going outside on a walk, right? Everybody, if you talk to people who spend times in the wood, they feel so connected to nature, and to, it centers them, right? Who they are. They just feel so much peace there. And so that's essential oils, right? The ability to bring that into our lifestyle on an everyday basis and really support our health that way. Like, absolutely, I will advocate for that all day long.
When I think about my experience, when I open up an essential oil, it's like the effect is immediate too.
Yeah.
It's like, and
Yeah.
it's like the, you know, the pureness of what it is that I'm inhaling, really. And just like it, I think it gets through into the brain just
It
like
does.
super quickly.
Mm-hmm. So an essential oil, right? When we open up a bottle and we inhale it, it hits our olfactory nerve, which is right behind our nasal, right here. That actually sends messages to the limbic system in the brain. It is a chemical thing that happens. It is a physical and emotional response within our body. And our limbic system sends messages throughout our body. It's saying, like, hey, calm down. Hey, take a deep breath, right? When you smell things like wild orange, right? A lot of times our limbic system is also responsible for memories and emotions, right? So when we breathe them in and we actually have a response, we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that worked. There's a very real reason why it worked, because it is working. It's triggering our brain, and our brain is sending responses to our cells and within our bodies that's creating these physical and emotional responses. It's phenomenal. So if you've never experienced essential oils or you are new to them, please leave a comment. I would love to send you a free sample. You're welcome to attend one of my free introduction to essential oil classes, because it's phenomenal. Once you really get to experience them and learn about them, it will change your life. It will change your life.
Yep. Thinking about what you said about how when you inhale those little particles of essential oils and how it immediately communicates with really the whole body and the nervous system, that same sort of communication is happening when we breathe in chemicals. It's just
Absolutely.
not good. So it's like thinking about, like I talked about with Nancy Broach about laundry and the smell last week. I go down that aisle. I don't do it very often, but it's like it makes me sick. And I feel bad instantly upon smelling those chemical, petrochemical molecules.
Yeah.
And so it's like it has that same instantaneous effect, just in a not positive way.
That's right. I actually am prone to migraines pretty severely. And my family, has them a lot. Some of it is genetics and some of it is other things. And a lot of people who suffer from smells, right, from headaches, or they're like, oh my gosh, I'm really sensitive to smells. A lot of times what you're sensitive to is those synthetic fragrances. That's what you're sensitive to. When you're able to breathe in real, natural, pure essential oils, you don't have that same response because it's completely different. It's completely different. So yes, absolutely. I will get sick. My son, we had a bottle of Windex from a long time ago, and I normally use H2O cloth, but he grabbed Windex and sprayed the windows down, and I felt sick. Like, it was almost that same immediate response. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to open the windows. I was like, don't ever use that again, because it triggered exactly that. I just felt awful. So yeah, we're exposed to thousands of toxins, right? So much so. That's why H2O is a phenomenal company, to get your cleaning products from. But this ability to reduce toxins where we can, and to implement safer things that really will benefit our health instead of adding to a negative effect that we have.
Yay!
It's just so good. So good.
Thank you so much, Margaret. So if anybody watches this, connect with Margaret and she will set you up with some essential oil samples.
Yes, please reach out. There's no commitment other than to just educate and learn some more. So I would love to help you.
Yep. I will have information on how to connect with Margaret associated with this video. And she is a wealth of information. So it's like she has these classes that she makes available to people. So take advantage of them.
Thank you so much.
Now, is that just in Olympia area, or do you have virtual classes?
Nope. I will teach an in-person class, and I teach Zoom classes. And if you are Zoomed out, which some people are, I have a texting class as well. So if you'd prefer to just read the information, then we totally can go that avenue as well. So lots of options.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Well, so thank you, Margaret. It has been wonderful having you. Tomorrow, I have my Thursday Tips for Thriving session at 9 o'clock. So for about half an hour, I'm going to play around with essential oils and biofield tuning. So, and I haven't done this before with this particular thing. So I'm just going to pull up an oil and see how it interacts with the sound and how I feel about the oils and how it affects the sound. These are just like fun play sessions for me, but also educational. And if anybody wants to come and ask questions, welcome to join me. I'm going to be on from 9 to 9:30 tomorrow. So thank you everybody for being here and watching. Thank you, Margaret. It has been lovely having you.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys have learned something.
Yay!
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.